There's a new stud in town. What'd you hear about him? Well, they said that he's big and strong and good looking.
Gotta get your act together.
Harder, stronger, harder, stronger, harder, stronger.
Hairy, sweaty, macho.
Real physical strength. He'll never stop.
I want to talk about something I talk about all the time, but because it's important, I'm going to rehash it, reiterate it, reinsert it into your ear pussy. When we're talking about body composition, when we're talking about looking better naked, which is why, as we've established in prior episodes, the main reason why we all do this. Don't give me your bullshit about, I just want to be able to live a longer life. I'm going to be a fuck off. You do this. I do this. We all do this. For the most part, I have performance desires. I have performance goals. But I wouldn't watch what I eat every goddamn day and go to the gym as much as I go and train as hard as I train if it wasn't that I would end up looking better in the long run. That's motivation. The majority of high-level, world-class athletes, until they get to a certain age, eat like shit because they can. They get away with it. Then they get to a certain age. There's the most legendary. I mean, I remember the interview. I was listening to the interview about Kobe Bryant talking about how he was at a point in his career where he's like, I was Egg McMuffin every day, numerous Egg McMuffins before I show up for morning shoot-arounds, to every single calorie that was going in my body completely measured and weighed, and sweet potato and meat on the bone and things, you know, to certain nutrients to help fuel me and take care of, because when I was 25, I could do whatever the hell I wanted. And that's the truth. That's the truth for most of us. And it's a bigger concern also with so many more 25-year-olds already being fat. I don't mean that to be insulting. That's reality. It's a big concern for me. So many 10-year-olds, so many 15-year-olds, so many 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds are already starting behind the 8 ball. It's making this cycle a lot more hard to escape. If you want to look better, you have to have your diet established. Training is far behind it. It's not a close second. It's second, but it's not a close second. Every single person that I've ever worked with, be it in my personal life or with my Patreon clients, or back when I was just working as a personal trainer, every literally, and I know what that word actually means. I'm not a young, attractive white person that goes, literally, that was life-changing. You're like, really? Mean Girls was life-changing? Literally? Do you know what literally means? I know what literally means. And literally every person I've ever worked with, be it just in my personal life or as a professional consultant, has had to have this conversation. And this conversation is, hey, Mike, is my training. I'm training so hard. I'm training this. I'm doing this and this and this and this and this. How come I don't look like I want to look? And then I go, how much are you eating? I've been eating really clean. I go, how much are you eating? I don't know, 2,200 calories? And I go, did you track that, or you just, no, it sounds about right. Okay. What'd you eat? They tell me, and then I go, okay, so your breakfast was 1,800 calories, and you're telling me that you had 1,600 calories yesterday. Wrong. Go track for a month. 1 month. I'm not asking a lifetime. Go weigh your food, all of it, track it, all of it, and then have your eyes go, now I know why I don't look like I want to look. There's two things that the general public is grossly distorted in approaching, and that is how much calories they burn in a day and how much calories they eat. Both are things that people grossly misunderstand, egregiously misled. Really overweight people will be like, I've been dieting for so long and it just doesn't seem to work out. I was like, you haven't really spent one day in a caloric deficit. You know, It's not always necessarily about like laziness or lack of willpower. A lot of it is just such unbelievably fucked up views on food volume and caloric density. You have the best laid plans, you have the best intentions, and people by and large are so fucked up with understanding of consumption. And that's not only with food, that's just like the way we as like Westerners have become professional consumers. The idea of restriction is just so fucking foreign to us. Or even control of it. It's like I deserve this, I just need to have more. And the reality is like it's so fucked up how people, and what I mean by that is like food volume. This is not a finger pointing situation. This is not a finger pointing exercise, because this has been hundreds of people that I work with that I go, here is just like a basic formula for you to start eating. This is not very strict. I'm not even going to give you a calorie guideline. Right now, I just want you to change your food habits. Man or woman, old or young, for the most part, they come back and they go, I can't eat this. I'm going to get fatter if I eat this much. And I go, why? They said, yesterday, I'm a 180-pound woman, and you told me to have 135 grams of protein, and I got 20 grams deep into my breakfast. That you gave me some examples of breakfast, and I got 20 in, and I was and I was like, I can't add more. I go, but wait a second. The 2 hard-boiled eggs and the cup of bone broth, right? That's the 34 grams of protein breakfast that I just proposed to you. Just an idea. Here's a good example of 30-something grams of protein. That's about 240 to 275 calories. You had a Starbucks, I'm looking at it right now. You said you had a venti caramel macchiato. That's like 800 calories. Before you even got to the bagel and cream cheese and shit like that, because people's idea of food volume, consumption, and density of calories is so fucked up. This is genuinely a true, 100% true story. This was a very fat man. He wanted help, and I helped him. I tried to. 350 plus pounds, big fella. But he also worked in a very active job, and he stopped at this place in Southern California called Nick's. It's like pretty legend. They have breakfast burritos, right? And he would get 2 5 days a week on his way to work. He would get 2 breakfast burritos. Each one, rough estimate, is about 800 calories, because they're like, it's not like McDonald's breakfast burrito where these are fucking like thick bricks, right? And he would get 2, because I gotta give guy, I'm cutting the guy some slack. He's a big fucking dude, and he's gonna go around like working, carrying blocks of cinder and building. He was a contractor, he's not getting any shit from me for doing this, but this is reality. He's having a 1,500 to 2,000 calorie breakfast every day, and I tried to get him to eat just salted beans and eggs in one more, and he's like, this is so much food. I can't eat this amount of food. I can't eat this preposterous amount of food for one meal for breakfast. I was like, dude, that's like 380 calories. But it's very fibrous, and it's very high protein. So it's very filling. There's a lot of density. Just like if I take, this is the analogy I always use. I'll take a potato. Let's say a 7-ounce, 8-ounce potato for you Canadians and Europeans. Let's say it's a 600 grams of potato. If I were to just boil it or bake it with just salt, even a big fuck, even a giant jack person would have a hard time to sit down and eat 7 ounces or 600 grams of baked plain potato with just sea salt, right? You would have a hard time. You would get really full. Your palate would become kind of bland to the taste, and it's just not enough to keep your palate like overly stimulated, and you're just filling yourself, and you're like, whoo, this is very filling and very dense, and that's about like 300 calories at the most. In fact, I will fucking check that. So 7 ounces would be 115 calories. 7 ounces of potato, raw, with skin on, is 115 calories. And I defy you, with 115 calories, They're a little more than like a light beer. I defy you to sit down and finish that because you'll be stuffed. 115 calories. You won't finish that. You won't want to. You may do it, but you won't want to. I know, I do it all the time. When you're talking about potatoes and fruit, as far as carb choices, I get to about 200 calories of that potatoes, be it sweet or regular, and fruit, and I'm like, dude, whoo! All right. If I gave you a bagel, which is probably twice the amount of calories, right? A good sized normal, you'd probably want another. You would probably want another. Like, it would be shocking to you. It would genuinely be shocking to you if I showed you 1,000 calories of Starbucks, just combinations of different drinks and one pastry, versus what I can make 1,000 calories out of with my food. Creamy sauced meat, like animal protein, veggies, and certain carbs. I'm talking about it would take up your whole 9x16 Instagram picture. It would be a buffet table of the food that I eat. Compared to like how, honestly, if I really tried, like a venti, certain Starbucks like mixed milkshake type drinks, you're already looking at like 800 plus, 600, 700, 800 calories, okay? Now, if I throw in one like of those like breakfast Danishes, you're pumping way over 4 digits in calories. If I do Mike Catherwood's food and put out it would be a fucking buffet. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. You don't want me to bloviate about it? Here's Dr. Mike Isertel talking about the mistakes we make when we want to try to look good, okay? So listen to this dude break down the mistakes we make.
Diet always comes first. Control it, or your chances for losing fat and weight are going to be very low. There's tons of infographics about this that I'm sure you can search, but if you search like what kind of activity levels require the burning off of various calories of junk foods like ice cream cone or donut or lollipop, if you look at those charts, good God, it's depressing because like one donut, you got to run like 3 miles to burn that shit off. Fuck that. So if you're like, yeah, I would control my diet, but I love donuts too much, I'll just do more cardio. You have no idea what you're saying. There's marathon runner training levels of cardio you'd have to do to compensate for 5 or 6 donuts. It's unbelievable. Control your diet and you could start losing weight without any cardio at all, without even fucking step tracker.
Control your eating. Really make an effort to do so. Stop obsessing about your training when your diet's shit, because you can go the opposite direction. Believe me. If your diet is very, 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 very prudent and very well disciplined, and well controlled, your training can be pretty good and you'll be fine. Your training can be shit. You'll probably be fine. Your training can be off the charts. If your diet's shit, you're never going to look good. You will look better. If you're super fat, you will look better by simply adhering to a structured exercise program. But that only lasts for a certain amount of time. My 600-pound life people, of course, if they get out and even start walking, they make considerable notable gains, just progress. But that only lasts for a certain time, and then then they have to start really analyzing what they're eating. If you are someone who's not, I'm not saying like, look, you're a big fat slob. I'm saying like a regular person, regular guy, regular gal. We're in that 10 to 15 to 20 pounds overweight. We don't like how we look, and we want to change that. Right? You will invest so much fucking effort in going to your CrossFit gym and doing your Pilates and doing whatever. A lot of people, they adopt this, right? They start running. You start doing these things like, I'm going to make the choice. And 2 years later, you will be probably a little different, maybe smaller, like this much. And how many of you guys can relate to that? I'm telling the truth. And you wish you had this like, oh my God, have you seen Sally lately? Have you seen Johnny? Johnny showed up at work the other day. He walked into the water cooler room and I was like, I can't believe it's you, dude. You've changed yourself so much. You never get that. And you've been training a lot. And you go like, I've been CrossFitting for fucking 4 years. How come I have man tits? When we're talking about aesthetics, when we're talking about looking good naked, it's so much about your diet. The rather unreasonable means in which a lot of us train become not only irrelevant, but sometimes in the way. And you say, how the fuck can it be in the way? You only have a certain amount of energy and recovery ability to do certain things, and you're doing a bunch of extra shit that you don't need to be doing, subsequently compromising the quality training you could be doing, and your recovery ability, swiping away more muscle mass, making your metabolism shitty, and now you're fucked. You're in a big fuck sandwich. You're fucked. How many more times can I say that word? I hope this episode has been eye-opening for you. I hope it is meaningful. I hope it is important. But I also want to offer to you, if you find this shit totally confusing, go to my Patreon. I'll help you. I have numerous tiers, like 3 tiers, to offer my help to you as a patron. The top tier being that I will do it. I'm yours. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have a specific, unique email address. I will give you my phone number. You can contact me whenever you want. I will create custom nutrition and training and make sure that I'm there for you. And in this crazy mixed up world that makes you think that nobody cares, remember, I do suck my balls.